invited guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. This evening, we are proud to welcome in our midst here today, Sri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Secretary, Department of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. A very warm welcome to the honored dignitary. May I request him to please join us on stage? A very warm welcome to you, sir. Meanwhile, I also take the pleasure of requesting the esteemed dignitaries from PharmExcel to please join us on stage as well. Please join me in welcoming on stage Sri Namit Joshi, Chairman PharmExcel. I request Mr. Bhavin Mehta, Vice Chairman PharmExcel, to please also join us on stage. May I request Mr. Nipun Jain, IPHEX 2026 Chairman, to please also join us on stage. Please join me in extending a warm welcome. May I once again invite on stage Mr. Bhavin Mehta, Vice Chairman PharmExcel. Meanwhile, we take the pleasure of requesting Sri Mohit Yadav, IFS, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, to please join us on stage. So we are expecting a lot of highly placed officials in both the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, as well as the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and also the Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers, Government of India. Meanwhile, we take the pleasure of extending a warm welcome to Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Commerce Secretary, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. A very warm welcome to you, sir, once again. May I first request, I take the pleasure of requesting Dr. V. Kalai Selvan, Secretary and Scientific Director, IPC, to please join us on stage. A very warm welcome to you, sir. May I first request Chairman PharmExcel, Sri Joshi, to kindly extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, Commerce Secretary, Sri Rajesh Agarwal, and please welcome him with a plaque. May I now request Sri Nipun Jain to kindly extend a warm welcome to Dr. V. Kalai Selvan and kindly present him with a plaque, and please welcome him. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to share with you all that we are shortly being joined by Mr. Jitin Prasada, the Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. He is due to join us any moment now, so please do bear with us while we await his arrival. While we are awaiting the arrival of the Honorable Minister, I take the pleasure of requesting Sri Namit Joshi, Chairman PharmExcel, to please kindly deliver the welcome address. Please welcome with an applause.
A warm welcome, and I render my apology for starting this program late, not late, but little late. And I would say that the challenges what we are facing is in terms of coordinating this event, because it's a very important event. And I think we have created a history, because conducting this size of event has never happened in the history of PharmExcel. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you all for coming over, taking your valuable time. Please pardon us for the glitches. Start with the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister of State of Commerce and Industry, Shri Jitin Prasad ji, respected Commerce Secretary, Shri Rajesh Agarwal ji, IAS, Department of Commerce, all the Joint Secretaries from the Department of Commerce, Department of Pharma, and Department of Health, my industry association colleagues, IPA, IDMA, FOP, and BDMA, Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, distinguished representatives of the Foreign Mission, senior officials from the Government of India, industry leaders, and colleagues from my pharmaceutical sector, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. It's my privilege and honor on behalf of Pharmaceutical Export Promotion Council to welcome you all. On this Global Ambassador Meet and the curtain raiser ceremony for IPHEX 2026. We are especially grateful to our Honorable Commerce and Industry Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, whose visionary leadership continues to strengthen India's position as a trusted global economic and healthcare partner. Today's gathering reflects the growing importance of healthcare, diplomacy, and international collaboration in ensuring equitable access to safe, effective, and affordable medicine across the world. Indian pharma industry has emerged as one of the strongest pillars of the global healthcare, known as the pharmacy of the world. Supplies of medicine to more than 200 countries, territories play a very vital role in supporting healthcare system worldwide. From the generic medicine, vaccines to complex formulations, biosimilars, innovative healthcare solutions, Indian pharmaceutical companies are contributing significantly to the globe. COVID-19 was an example where we demonstrated the resilience, reliability, and commitment of Indian pharma sectors. It reinforced the confidence of the global community in India's manufacturing capabilities, regulatory standards, and ability to respond swiftly to the healthcare emergencies. When the countries were trying to leverage their position through the COVID vaccine, India was serving 100. So we have a pleasure of having our Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Shri Jitin Prasad ji. Sir, I welcome you. I extend my warm welcome to you. Thank you very much for coming over. So, Excellencies, your presence here is deeply valued. As a representative of your respective countries, you play a pivotal role in strengthening the economic and healthcare partnerships. We view this platform as an opportunity to deepen engagements, understand the market needs, address the challenge, explore new avenues of cooperation in pharmaceutical, biotechnology, medical devices, and healthcare services. This evening also marks the formal curtain raiser for IPHEX 2026, India's flagship international pharmaceutical exhibition. We are trying to add few flavors into IPHEX, and we are going to expand our wings and trying to create a global health expo, which will be one of the world's biggest health exhibition, what we are trying for. But IPHEX would remain the integral part of the Global Health Expo 2026. Together we can build stronger supply chain, foster innovation, contribute to the better healthcare outcomes worldwide. I once again extend my sincere gratitude to Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Minister of State, Shri Jitin Prasad ji, our Commerce Secretary ji, and all the senior officials of the government, my industry leaders, and the distinguished guests, excellencies, and ambassadors. I wish you all a very productive and engaging interaction and look forward to strengthen our partnerships in the spirit of one world, one health. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, we take the pleasure of extending a warm welcome to Sri Jitin Prasada, the Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. A very warm welcome to the Honorable Minister, sir. We extend a warm welcome to you with a warm applause. May I request you all to please kindly extend an applause to the Honorable Minister, sir. I take the pleasure of requesting Mr. Namit Joshi, Chairman Farm Excel, to kindly welcome the Honorable Minister with a plaque. May I request you to please present a shawl as well and extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Minister, sir. This evening, we have also been joined on stage by Sri Mohit Yadav, IFS, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. A very warm welcome to the honored guest. May I request Vice Chairman Farm Excel, Sri Bhavin Mehta, to please welcome the honored dignitary and present a plaque to him as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we are here today amidst August company, and we have the pleasure of welcoming in our midst this evening Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, IAS Commerce Secretary, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. I now request the honored dignitary to please address the August gathering.
A very good evening to all of you. Honorable Minister of State, Sri Jitin Prasada ji, Chairman Farm Excel, Mr. Namit Joshi, other industry dignitaries on the dais, all the Excellency ambassadors and high commissioners from various countries who have gathered here in the hall today, all the representatives from various high commissions and embassies who are present here today, all my colleague officials on the dais and off the dais who are present here in the hall today, representatives from the industry, friends from the media. First of all, a very warm welcome to this evening. I am happy to see that there is participation from multiple countries here today. We are all gathered here to talk about the success story of India, pharmaceutical story, the India's health story, and see how India and the world can work together to make it stronger as we go along. As you all are aware, India is a major pharmacy of the world. We are one of the biggest producer of generic medicines across the world, with more than 3,000 companies, with more than 10,000 plus manufacturing units. I think more than 60,000 generic brands that we manufacture in our country across 60 therapeutic areas, and more than 200 plus countries where we sell our medicine across the world. I think India's pharmaceutical industry has come of age. But this is not the destination, this is only a path. We are only on the pathway because as we grow, there are new challenges that we need to meet. So if India has to become a true pharmacy to the world and a sustainable source of pharmaceutical supply across the world, I think we need to work with each one of you, each one of your countries across the world to see that how we create sustainable supply chains, meet your requirements in a more resilient fashion, and demonstrate that India as a supplier, you can always depend on India as a country for your supply of your healthcare and pharmaceutical needs. That is the relationship of trust that we need to build. We have built this over years, and we need to nurture it and strengthen it further so that we keep growing and we are able to, because in a healthcare pharmaceutical supply chain, it is the resilience and the trust which will matter over cost. We like it to be cheaper, we like to be competitive, but at the same time, we like it to be resilient. We need to be sure of that our healthcare supplies, our pharmaceutical suppliers are never going to be choked. So that is something India is trying to build, and that is the kind of confidence that India is trying to give to the entire world. Our actions during the COVID times also, I think when we came out with vaccine supply to multiple 100-odd countries across the world, I think was an action in the right direction to demonstrate. Then when it comes to providing resilience to these supply chains, I think India as a producer of 70% of the global vaccines in the world is a very trusted supplier and can be depended upon. But in order to carry on this, I think, and one thing more, I think India also sees its role in the overall healthcare space by bringing in healthcare, making a healthcare affordable and accessible. Because technology and innovation bring in healthcare products which are important for mankind, but it is the efficiency and the scale with which our industry produces these goods and products that we make it actually accessible across not only India, but across multiple countries across the world where we supply our goods. The generic drugs that India produces is actually helpful in bringing down healthcare in many geographies and economies across the world, including in India. And we believe this is a partnership which is it's a win-win partnership, not only for our industry, for all our countries together. Going ahead, I think if we need to be a sustained supplier of pharmaceuticals across the world, I think we need to be ahead of curve when it comes to regulation, when it comes to innovation. When it comes to regulation, I think as an industry now we need to look at how, instead of being reactive to global regulation requirements across the world, can we become proactive and create regulations and meet regulations which are aligned to global requirements in a manner that we are already there. It is anything that when world looks at as for global supplies or supplies to their economies, they find that our pharmaceutical industry is meeting all the regulatory requirements. Can we try to move in that direction? Because that will give confidence to the world also, and that will make these supply chains more durable and more resilient in the long run. Two, if you want to sustain it in the long run, we also, I think as an industry, need to be not a follower of innovation curve. We need to be equally a partner in the innovation curve. How can we partner to become innovators in this area? How can we see that new emerging areas like biopharma or biosimilars, Indian industry is also able to move ahead, taking support from the good initiatives or good schemes or support by Government of India through Biopharma Shakti or PLI schemes, to see that we become innovators in this area and create products which are not only for India but for the world. Because if we are able to be part of both this regulatory and innovative journey together with the world, I think we will not only deepen these supply chains, but we will sustain these over long run. This is something that as an industry we need to move ahead as we go along. I think today we are all gathered here for the curtain raiser of IPHEX, that is International Pharmaceutical Exhibition. This is one of the biggest pharma exhibitions that India's industry brings together every year after year. And as Mr. Joshi pointed out, the vision and the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, our Minister, is that we should not catapult this pharmaceutical exhibition as the biggest health exhibition in this country by bringing in all the stakeholders together, not only pharmaceutical industry, but all the elements of healthcare that we look at to provide a big platform like Bharat Health as we go along. We are working towards that, and our endeavor is to catapult this whole exhibition into a big healthcare exhibition, which is one of the biggest across the world, bringing in all the stakeholders in the healthcare supply chain and all the suppliers and buyers from not only India, from across the world, to make it one of the biggest showcasing of the healthcare ecosystem as an annual event here. So this is, with this vision, we are working together, and we look forward to your partnership in making this event successful. We look forward to your participation of all your countries in big way, not only buyers, but also your sellers, producers, as a part of this exhibition in a big way, so that together we can create a right platform where industry and all stakeholders can come together, discuss, and create a pathway for a safe and a sustainable healthcare ecosystem for the entire globe. So with this vision, I leave this task before the industry and all our country partners here to see how we can take this forward. In the end, I'll also like to convey my best wishes from our minister who has not been able to join us today. He's trying still that he can join us for some time, but in case he is not able to, he has conveyed his best wishes to the pharmaceutical industry and all the Excellency ambassadors and high commissioners who have gathered here today. Felicitations from his side, and the vision that I talked about is his vision, is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, under whose guidance we are trying to see that this exhibition actually comes out to be the biggest exhibition in the healthcare ecosystem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for guiding us with your words. It's truly an honor to have you here in our midst today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have sitting with us on the dais this evening Mr. Jitin Prasada, the Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. We extend once again a very warm welcome to the Honorable Minister, and we would like to introduce to you all, because he is truly the real friend of the industry, and amidst his guidance and his support, the industry is truly making path-breaking progress. It's an honor to hear from you, sir. May I request you all to please extend a very warm welcome, and please extend a warm welcome as I request him to address the August gathering.
Thank you, and a very good evening to all here. I'm very glad that I have got this opportunity to speak to you all at this curtain raiser of IPHEX 2026. And with me on the dais, you just heard the Secretary of our Department of Commerce, Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, the Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, Mr. Mohit Yadav, Chairman, PharmExcel, Shri Namit Joshi, Director General, PharmExcel, Shri Raja Bhanu, Vice Chairman, Shri Bhavan Mehta, Dr. V. Kailavashavan, Scientific Director, IPC, Shri Nipun Jain, Chairman, IPHEX. I hope I've taken everybody's name on the dais, and in front of me, of course, Excellencies, ambassadors, various stakeholders of the pharma industry, friends from the media. It is a pleasure to be here amongst all of you, and I'm very glad that you have taken our time to give us this necessary and important boost with your presence on this event of, showcasing what the pharmaceutical industry has to offer in India, and how it's going to be unfolding in the months to come in September, when we will be having the mother of all exhibitions, where over 30,000 visitors, over 800 stalls, and participation not only within India, but across the world, given your presence here. Given the sizable faces and numbers I can see of the international community, it goes a long way in showcasing the commitment and the collaboration in which India and the international community is moving ahead is with regard to healthcare. And that is one area that India has made great foray. Our pharma industry has done pretty well across, not only within India, but across the world. We call ourselves the pharmacy of the world, and we have seen significant, times such as, in this decade only, which has been pretty uncertain given starting from the COVID days and now to the uncertainty with regard to the geopolitical conditions and different parts of the world. We see what's happening, and it is only befitting that we get together, collaborate further, exchange best practices, and see how we can diversify, especially with regard to access to medicines. And that is one core commitment that the Indian government believes in, where we want equitable access to medicines across the world, not only in India. And I can assure you the whole support of the government, our office bearers from the PharmExcel who will be hosting the event in times to come, will showcase, like the secretary of our department has just said, that it will only not be restricted to medicines, but the whole ecosystem. And I'm sure the ambassadors present here from across the world will take the message of India to every nook and corner of the world. We want to see your participation. This government under Prime Minister Modi is one which is agile, is one with a long-term vision, is one which hears and changes policies and adapts to conditions across the world. And I can tell you that we in India are very lucky given the situation and what's happening across the world, where we see unstable governments, we see geopolitical uncertainties. But in India, and with you being here and seeing for yourself, we have a government which has won 3 back-to-back elections under Prime Minister Modi at the federal level, which goes to show the mandate of the people and the stability that India is going through. And with a stable government, with a focused leadership, we have the leverage to take long-term decisions. We have the leverage to take bold decisions. And we are primarily focusing on 2 things which Prime Minister Modi believes in. One is of ease of doing business, and the other is of ensuring ease of living for the Indian citizens. And not only for India, but we want to go with the slogan of Make in India and Make for the World. So as far as the pharma industry goes, I can assure you, given again the Prime Minister's commitment, amongst innumerable things that he thinks and he talks and he envisions, one thing his primary focus has been, and that is quality. Quality, quality, and quality. So there can be no compromise. I assure you, India will live up to the expectations of the world. We collaborate heavily, especially with the developing world and emerging economies, and fulfill our commitments, be it giving vaccines to the world, and also ensuring that we don't compromise on quality in any fashion. And we are happy to open doors and welcome any opportunity from any part of the world where they can showcase and test, because we want to invest heavily. I wish Mr. Goel had been here, because his primary focus has been on ensuring that we have the best labs, we have the best testing facilities, and we would be happy to open to anyone to come and check out for themselves that we fulfill all quality requirements. And as far as medicine goes, which is so sensitive an issue, there can be no compromise on quality. So I assure you, from the point of view of the government and also from the point of the Indian pharmaceutical industry, that we are willing to rise up to the challenge and ensure that we do fulfill all needs and commitments and compliances and regulations that the world demands. And I'm sure you're also aware, and our secretary, Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, is here, who has been very instrumental in ensuring the free trade agreements that we've gone ahead with across the world, be it the developing economy, be it the Gulf countries, be it Australia, be it Oman, be it European Union, and now also navigating the one with the United States of America. This goes to show a new India, an evolving India, where the world is looking towards India as a big destination to partner with. And I can assure you that the people of India, the 1.4 billion that we talk about, has over the years become India's biggest strength, and it is the biggest market that India has to offer, because that 1.4 billion population of India has become a very aspirational India. They're willing to spend, they're willing to travel, they want quality products, they're not going to accept any substandard products anymore, and we are ensuring that this partnership, which our 1.4 billion bring to the table, I request everybody, not only for the pharma industry, but across the sectors, that India is a big market, but don't just treat it as a market. We are willing to partner with you. We want to be that trusted partner with you to grow, collaborate, and our industry should also benefit from these agreements, rather than just being a market where products are sold and the profits are not shared. So with those words, I think a lot can be said, but I don't think so. I would want to go into the figures what my secretary of my department has just spoken, because eventually, when you're in the same department, your speeches are made in the same section. So I don't want to be sounding repetitive, but I can tell you that we are here. We want to be quality conscious. We want to ensure that we leverage the free trade agreements, and I'm sure the ambassadors and excellencies here will take this message to every nook and corner of the world and tell them that this India is a new India where there is a rule of law, there is transparency, there's a level playing field. Those days have gone where there were shortcuts, and now with the new India that we live in, we see that we want participation from across the world, and with these new things emerging in India, I think India is the place to be. And also, I can tell you one more point which we talked about, is about ease of doing business. It's not only about talking and making policies, it's about walking the talk. We just, in the last parliament session, we went ahead and legislated and got one bill, which is known as a Jan Vishwas bill, passed. And that was one primary bill which was intent was to ensure that ease of doing business, where compliances were done away with, unnecessary ones, which were outdated, which were seen as if you were looking on the business with a very suspicious view. Those things have been done away with. Even some issues which were with regard to, I can say, the laws, where we were done away with, where rules were being broken, but were outdated. So now we've, like I said, the government is agile, it listens, it consults stakeholders regularly, and ensures that policies are made and fine-tuned accordingly. It's an agile government, and with this kind of a setup, I think we look forward for partnering with you and ensuring that one of our showcase industries, the pharmaceutical ones, which we have done very well with regard to our PLI schemes as well, which have, between electronics and pharmaceuticals, they have shown great potential. And I think the time has come to take this further. We've done a lot, but there's a lot to be achieved. And I'm happy that your presence here will go a long way in sending that message. And I hope that we can collaborate this further and see some impact on the ground. So with those words, I thank you again for taking our time and making it to this function. I hope that my senior minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, would be able to make it in spite of his busy schedule. So with those words, I thank you again.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for your gracious presence here today and for those very encouraging words. So as the Honorable Minister, sir, mentioned, this is also the curtain raiser ceremony of IPHEX 2026. And we have the chairman of IPHEX 2026 seated right here with us on the stage, Mr. Nipun Jain. I now request Sri Jain to kindly introduce IPHEX 2026 before the curtain raiser.
Thank you, everyone. Honorable Minister of State, Jitin Prasad ji, distinguished guests on the dais, Your Excellencies, and friends from the pharma industry. You are all welcome to this curtain raiser of IPHEX 12th edition. So I'll just tell you a little bit about IPHEX. We started it 12 years back, maybe like 13 years back. So the basic idea of IPHEX was to have one umbrella for all the healthcare activities under one umbrella. So in IPHEX, what we exhibit is the formulation, the finished medicine, the API, the bulk drugs, the medical devices, even herbal, and even contract manufacturing. So you can find everything under one umbrella. So that was the idea, and the idea was also from this side to give an Indian exhibitors an exposure to the foreign data. So Minister has come, sir. So we have, like, this is a 12th edition, we have more than 10,000 delegates, foreign delegates who have come and participated in IPHEX. So I request you, as our Honorable Minister has stated, we welcome Your Excellencies to spread the message in your respective countries, to come to visit to IPHEX and see what the total healthcare about India is. We can give you affordable and credible medicines. So I request you all to please come and join IPHEX this year. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just received here in our midst the Honorable Minister, sir. We extend a very warm welcome to Honorable Minister Shri Piyush Goyal, the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry. A very warm welcome to you, sir. And what you were just witnessing was an introduction to IPHEX 2026 by IPHEX Chairman, Mr. Nipun Jain. So once again, sir, extending a warm welcome to you. I request Mr. Namit Joshi, Chairman Farm Excel, to kindly present a plaque and a shawl to the Honorable Minister, sir, and please welcome him. It's an honor and a privilege, sir, to welcome you here. And according to Indian tradition and culture, we will light the ceremonial lamp. We'll request the honorable ministers and all the dignitaries on the dais to please join in. The Honorable Minister of State and all the dignitaries on the dais joining in the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony. According to Indian tradition and culture, we light the ceremonial lamp before starting any new initiatives, praying for the success of one and all.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा कुरु मे देवा.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister, please welcome with a huge round of applause.
My apologies, I was not here earlier, but we have a series of engagements going on since we are celebrating 12 years of our government at the center with Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister. And we have a series of programs going on in that respect. But wonderful to have my colleague, Shri Jitin Prasad, interact with all of you and share with you our perspective of for the pharmaceutical industry going forward. Commerce Secretary Mr. Rajesh Agarwal, Chairman Mr. Namit Joshi, all the other distinguished friends on the dais, off the dais, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. In our ancient texts, the Upanishads, there's a very famous Sanskrit shlok or a sentence which says, Sarva Santu Niramaya, which means, translates in English to, may all beings be free from illness. In a way, it's ancient Indian wisdom. Good health belongs to every human being. But I think collectively, post-COVID particularly, the world has recognized our shared responsibility to make the world a better place to live in, a safer place to live in, and to ensure access to healthcare across the world in fair measure, to ensure that every person born anywhere in the world should be taken care of. For thousands of years, India has seen health as a shared responsibility. And I think this philosophy guides modern pharmaceutical industry, where there is an effort that more and more markets, more and more people should get the benefit of innovation, should enjoy the fruits of the good work done by the pharmaceutical sector. And I think this is what IPHEX stands for. The 12th edition of IPHEX, a platform that brings together the finest minds in India in the pharma and healthcare sector, invites all of you and delegates from your countries, exhibitors from your countries, from around the world, to come and participate and experience the India growth story, particularly in the pharmaceutical sector. We believe we'll have probably 700, 800 or 1,000 exhibitors. After today's program, it should cross 1,000. And a number of overseas business delegations which will be visiting to see firsthand what is happening in the India pharmaceutical sector. As I said, we are celebrating 12 years of the Modi government. During these 12 years, taking our industry to international markets has been an important element of this journey. We have recently entered into 9 free trade agreements, and I see a number of countries represented here with whom we've done free trade agreements in the recent past. Today, we cover more than 50 countries with free trade agreements. Almost the entire developed world offers preferential market access to Indian goods and services. And therefore, we see ourselves as a part of global supply chains and an integral part of your country's journey in the pharmaceutical sector, maybe as a customer, maybe as an innovator, maybe as a country which works on clinical trials, maybe as a country which offers technology or gets contract manufacturing done in India. There are so many different ways that bring your countries and India on the same platform. And I think this has been the ethos of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. Today, a $60 billion industry, but certainly we haven't reached anywhere close to our potential. We can clearly see this industry doubling in the next 5 years. We are looking at moving out beyond generics into more and more innovation, more and more innovative products, but of course, without sacrificing the huge benefits that the generic sector offers for patients around the world. In fact, I suspect if generics were not available at the price points that India offers, millions of patients around the world would have had to suffer lack of access to healthcare and medicine purely for the inhibitive cost that medicines and branded medicines cost in most parts of the developed world. Even the developed countries eagerly look forward to our generic medicines to serve the common man, to serve the needs of routine medical health care. I think I'm told I would probably be a few percentage points off the mark, but 80 to 90% by volume of the medicines sold in the US are of generic medicines, even though they account for barely 10-15% of the value. But even at that price point, these generics are available and serve the larger needs of society. I think there are three important factors which define the pharmaceutical sector in India. One is trust. We have aligned India's good manufacturing practices framework to global benchmarks. 65 to 70% of World Health Organization requirements on vaccines are produced in India, sourced from India. 10 out of 25 global generic companies operate out of India. In fact, the trust that we have generated lends us to have the highest number of US FDA approved plants in India compared to any other part of the world. The largest number are in India. Two, we are now getting into the innovation world rapidly. In fact, our patent filings have increased by almost 100% in the last few years alone. We are focusing on high-value segments through Biopharma Shakti, a program that we have launched to encourage innovation in India in the pharmaceutical sector. We have also come out with a $10 billion program to support innovation in different sectors, including pharmaceuticals. And mind you, when we talk of spending $10 billion in India, it's almost equivalent to spending probably $100 billion in Switzerland, where Miss Excellency Ms. Maya comes from. Because the costs of operation in India are so much less compared to Europe or America that with a $105,000 per capita income in Switzerland and innovation being largely driven by talent, by human beings, and having a lot of costs on clinical trials and the entire innovation spectrum, focusing a lot on manpower, with $100,000+ per capita income in Switzerland or $85,000 per capita income in the US, India offers that same talent, possibly better, since many of the Indians are working in many of these pharma companies worldwide in their innovation work labs. You can probably get the same person at 1/10 the price in India and serve global innovation needs from India. And lastly, our partnership model. We believe in enduring partnerships with companies around the world. We wish to invite global pharma companies to come to India. They will enjoy the fruits of a large demand generated by 1.4 billion Indians, a rising middle class with growing incomes, the world's fastest growing large economy, growing even in these turbulent times when we were slapped with 50% tariffs by the US, when we had two wars raging, one in Ukraine, one in West Asia. Even in such a period, India has seen growth at constant prices, which figures were released 2 days back, at 7.7% for the year ended March 26. That's the potential, that's the India growth story that is on offer as a partner, a trusted partner to your countries, to meet your needs, to global pharmaceutical companies, to help them in their innovation journey. And in terms of market access, we are willing to open our doors to high quality, innovative products from the pharma sector from other parts of the world, as we have received 0% of preferential market access for most of our pharma products in countries with whom we have entered into free trade agreements. I would like to place on record my deep appreciation for the Indian pharmaceutical industry, for the resilience and perseverance that they have shown, weathering several storms, particularly during COVID, coming up winners in terms of providing not only the needs of India, but the needs of a large part of the world, particularly the global south, the less developed countries or emerging economies who benefited hugely from our medicines and from the vaccines that were produced in India. I can share with you how India managed the pharmaceutical product at affordable prices for other countries during COVID by restricting the export of medicines and vaccines. And when we initially restricted the export, everybody in the world panicked. They thought India was going to deprive other countries of much needed medicines or much needed vaccines. But the truth was absolutely the opposite. We had brought in those restrictions only to make secular availability of these medicines and vaccines at affordable prices to all the other countries around the world. Our fear was that traders or companies with large financial muscle could have otherwise cornered the available pharmaceutical products in India and sold them at a huge profit to countries around the world who needed it desperately during COVID. And I remember during that time, over 100 countries received medicines from India free of charge. Every country's needs were provided for. Whoever made any requests for any medicine during that period, which India produced, we made sure it was available for the paying countries at the same price level that prevailed pre-COVID, without allowing traders and middlemen to make money out of it. That was the sensitivity with which we managed the COVID period. In fact, it was not only for the less developed countries or the developing countries. A very major developed country of Europe, whose per capita income probably today is $60,000 plus, actually approached me for some medicines, and the chief of staff of the head of government there was a dear friend, a G20 Sherpa with me, so we'd really become close friends. And I'm sharing this example only to show you the mindset of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and basically this reflects the Indian culture. This gentleman calls me up and says their country wanted to give a 35 million euro grant to India to fight COVID. I said, why are you calling me up? You should call the Ministry of Finance. It has nothing to do with commerce. I'm not interested. You give that grant to finance and you sort out the terms. I'm usually very worried about grants. They always come with terms and conditions. He said, no, in addition to that, we also want to give you 200 million euro as developmental loan which you can repay over a long period of time without interest or at a very low interest. I said, again, not my subject. You'll have to talk to finance about this. Then he tells me, we want to give you so many ventilators and I don't know, some other oxygenators and some other equipment. I said, that's great. We do need equipment in India. But if you can send me the specs, I'll get it verified from the health ministry whether it'll work in India. I don't know if your European ventilators will really work in the Indian context. Send me the specs and I'll check it out with the health ministry and get back to you. And then in the fourth point, he comes to the real issue. He says, you know what, we need so much of this, we need so much of this medicine, etc. So I drew up the list. I said, I was just going to say his name, but I'll avoid that because it'll give out the country. I said, my friend, all you had to do was to give me this list or email me this list or WhatsApp me this list. And I promise you within 2 or 3 days, we have a committee of the health minister, the external affairs minister, Jai Shankar, and me, who would sit down, assess the requirement of the country, broadly basis past experience and population, so that that cannot become a conduit to, again, resell to third countries and make a profit by certain countries or by certain companies or middlemen. I said, within 2 or 3 days, you'll get the confirmation of these medicines. Prima facie, I could see that we shouldn't have a problem in any of those. I said, don't bother about the linkage to any of what you said earlier. Whether you give the grant or you don't give the grant, you give the loan or you don't give the loan, you send the ventilators or you don't send the ventilators, you'll get the medicines that you require. And friends, to this date, I don't know if the first 3 issues were ever done. I never bothered to check up from finance. But we made sure that they received all the medicines that they required. That is our culture. That is the trust that we wish to share with all of you. And these are the partnerships which will endure well beyond a pandemic like COVID, a war which may cause some temporary distress. We are looking for partnerships that will last generations. We are looking for partnership that will benefit the entire world, because as we believe, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that was the theme of our G20 presidency in 2023. It translates to the world is one family. And we look upon all of you, our brothers and sisters, as one family. And together with you, we'd like to travel this journey of innovation, this journey of sustainable healthcare production, healthcare solutions, and most importantly, inclusive healthcare for every citizen of the world, so that no child ever is deprived of quality healthcare and safety. Thank you very much, Excellencies, for joining us this evening, and wish you all the very best in the days and years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for gracing this occasion. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to host you here in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be witnessing the launch of IPHEX 2026 by the Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Piyush Goyal, the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, and also our honored guest, Shri Jitin Prasada, the Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. I request the Honorable Minister, sirs, to please do us the honors.
Industry continues to play an important role in the global healthcare landscape. With established capabilities across generics, bulk drugs, vaccines, and biosimilars, the sector supports access to medicines across multiple regions. Pharmaceutical exports reached approximately $30.46 billion in fiscal year 2024 to 25, reflecting consistent growth and global engagement. Driving this momentum is the Government of India's decisive push to strengthen global trade through strategic policy and diplomatic engagement. The landmark India-EU Free Trade Agreement opens one of the world's largest regulated markets to Indian pharmaceutical exports, enabling greater access to Europe's 450 million consumers. Ongoing trade engagement with the United States, India's single largest pharma export destination, is being further strengthened, creating new avenues for generic medicines, APIs, and biosimilars. The India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement has already accelerated pharmaceutical trade, positioning the Gulf as a critical corridor for Indian medicines reaching the Middle East and Africa. India continues to explore and expand its trade partnerships across emerging markets, giving Indian pharma manufacturers new opportunities to grow their global presence. These agreements go beyond tariffs. They build regulatory harmonization and streamlined market access, ensuring Indian pharmaceutical products reach patients faster and more affordably across the globe. Together, these initiatives are democratizing healthcare, ensuring that safe, efficacious, and life-saving treatments are an affordable reality for billions globally. Channeling this policy momentum into tangible trade outcomes is the Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council of India, PharmExcil, established in 2004. PharmExcil plays a pivotal role in facilitating international partnerships and empowering Indian exporters to navigate complex global markets. With the stellar growth of the industry, PharmExcil launched the International Exhibition of Pharma and Healthcare, IPHEX, in 2013. The momentum reached a crescendo at IPHEX 2025. This landmark edition hosted 587 plus overseas buyers from 138 plus countries at Bharat Mandapam. With 620 plus exhibitors and over 8,000 structured B2B meetings, the 2025 edition facilitated business worth billions, shaping the future of global medicine. Now, we prepare for a return that is bigger and bolder. IPHEX 2026 returns to Bharat Mandapam from September 7th to September 9th. This edition aligns with the vision of Bharat at 2030, projecting a $150 billion industry powered by innovation, self-reliance, and the full force of India's growing trade partnerships. Join us as we continue to lead with innovation and deliver with integrity to every corner of the globe. IPHEX 2026.
You're all cordially invited, and as you can see, Sri Raja Banu has already taken the stage to propose the word of thanks.
Thank you so much. Namaskar. Distinguished dignitaries, respected guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a privilege to propose a vote of thanks at this prestigious launch of IPHEX 2026, organized by Pharmaceutical Export Promotion Council of India under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. On behalf of PharmExcil and the entire organizing team, COA, I would like to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Honorable Sri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, for gracing this occasion and for his continuous guidance and support to India's pharmaceutical export sector. We are also privileged to have with us Sri Jitin Prasad ji, Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, whose presence has added immense value to this event. You just heard the ministers both, and you have seen the kind of response in terms of the trust building from the industry, pharmaceutical industry, to the global thing. We are truly honored by the presence of excellencies, ambassadors, and diplomats from more than 70 countries, which includes all the FTAs and all the countries which we have recently entered into the FTAs and the global south countries, and many of those things who have participated reflects the growing global confidence in India's pharmaceutical sector. Your presence strengthens the international partnerships and opens new avenues for collaboration, and our heartfelt appreciation to the esteemed officials from various ministries. Sri Rajesh Agrawal ji, the IAS Commerce Secretary, Minister of Commerce, Sri Mohit Yadav ji, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and of course, Sri Kale Selvan ji, Secretary, Scientific Director, IPC, Harsh Mangla ji, who has joined the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and Aman Verma ji from the DOC. And extend my sincere thanks to the DCGI representative, Mr. Chandrasekhar, who has joined here, and for his for his presence on behalf of the Rajiv Singh Raghuvanshi DCGI. And your continued support and policy guidance are instrumental in advancing India's global leaderships. I would like to place on record our sincere gratitude to the leadership of IPHEX, Sri Namit Joshi ji, Sri Bhavin Mahita ji, Nipun Jain, Chairman IPHEX, and all our very beloved COA members and industry representatives for their vision, dedication, and relentless efforts in making IPHEX a globally recognized platform, and team for their meticulous planning and commitment in organizing this remarkable event. Last but not the least, I thank all the distinguished guests, ministry officials, industry leaders representing the IPA, IDMA, OPPI, BDMA, FOP who have continued their success to today's event. Thank you. From IPA, Sudarshan Jain is here. IDMA, we have Ashok Madanji, and OPP, Anil Mataiji. BDMA, Virupaksha ji, Subareddy is here. And Sikri ji from the HOPE and AVPS Chakravarti ji. And we have councils like Shifexel, Sri Deep Jani is also contributed to the success of today's event. I would like to extend our appreciation to the members of the press and media whose role is amplifying our message and showcasing India's pharmaceutical excellence to the world's invaluable. With that, I conclude my expressing our sincere gratitude to each one of you for being part of this important milestone. We look forward to your continued support and gracious participation, and to mark our calendars as September 7th to 9th as we work together to make IPHEX 2026 a grand success. Thank you so much for having a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. I was told that we were to have a photo op, so with the permission of the Honorable Minister, sir. Sir, a photo op with you. May I request from IPA, Mr. Sudarshan Jain, from OP, Mr. Ajay Matai, and from FOP, Mr. B.R. Sikri, to please quickly join us on stage for a quick photo op with the Honorable Minister. I request all the Committee of Administration members also to please join us on stage. May I also invite Sri Rajesh Gupta to please join us on stage from Laghu Udyog Pharma. We would like to share with the Honorable Minister, sir, that there are partner organizations as well as stakeholders representing the who's who of the entire industry. Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. So once again, Excellencies, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all on behalf of IPHEX for having joined us here today. Please join us for snacks and dinner, which is being served now. And have a very pleasant evening ahead. Thank you.